Welcome back to Top World Disc Golf for the final round of the Mesmerize Disc Golf Tournament at Kelley Park. Here's your top 10 after round 1. Mike Sale is in the lead after a hot round at -9. Also tied at -9 is Jacob Johnson. Biting at their heels is Emmanuel Torres and Isaiah Oliver, also on our lead card. I'm Keenan Dalton from Top World, here with my co-commentator Paavo Stubstad.
Happy to be back, Keenan. Excited to see this final round play out. Scores are tight at the top.
Yeah, scores are tight, and we got some familiar faces on the card. You've seen Mike Sale after he took down the Boulder Creek Open on Top World Disc Golf. Manny Torres been featured on plenty of our coverage. And a fresh face to the coverage is Jacob Johnson, followed by Isaiah Oliver. Let's get right into it. Hole 1, 349-foot par 3. You got the OB parking lot on the right side, and basically pick your poison. It could be a big sidearm to get there or a power backhand. Let's see what these guys opt for. Before we get started, some knuckles.
It'll be fun to see Isaiah again after he was on our round 1 feature card. Glad to see he made lead card here.
Yeah, hard to believe he's only 16 years old.
Yeah, he's got an impressive game with a very unique throwing style where he kind of crouches as he releases the disc, puts a ton of snap on it. But first up, Mike Sale. Nice high turning shot. That looks good.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Had to get a little lucky through those branches, but beautiful flight.
Yeah, good start for Mike. That'll put him at 10 under par. That's a guaranteed birdie from there. Jacob's going to go for the thumber on hole 1.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with his game. It'll be fun to watch him play today. That's very high thumber. Wow.
Yeah, I got to speak a little bit with Jacob. He said he's from Chico area of California, or Paradise, if you're familiar with it. And he said he wanted to come out here to play our events because he knows we have high-level competition, and he wanted to play with the big dogs. Speaking of big dogs, here's Manny Torres up next, going for his putter.
Of course he is. 350 putter, why not? Great shot. Edge of the circle. Looking at a birdie.
And as we saw in round 1, Isaiah likes the forehand shot on hole 1. I think this is one of his hyper canes.
Nice low release. Thought it was too low at first, but stayed about a foot off the ground for the whole flight, and he's got a circle's edge, maybe just outside the circle. Look at a birdie. 4 birdie looks coming up.
Yeah, let's see if they can start the day off with a nice edge of C1 putt.
Well, first hole jitters. Didn't really commit on that one. Just low for Jacob. Possibly his first time on coverage. I don't know if he's been on other channels, but like you said, he's a new face to Top World. Manny, no stranger to being on coverage. Doesn't really feel the nerves of being on camera. Starts off with a solid birdie.
Yeah, putt looked pretty confident, just right on the pole there. Isaiah taps in for par.
Jacob for par as well. And I got to say, I love Jacob's shirt. It's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Cool design on that one. And last to putt, Mike Sale taps in the birdie.
Absolute park job. That's how you want to start.
On to hole 2. No OB to speak of on this hole. Dealer's choice on which line you decide to throw. Most players are going to opt for the backhand hyzer, but there is the sidearm route as well.
This is one of the easier holes on the course with just over 50% of the field taking birdie, so the players are definitely looking for a 2 on this one. Mike with the nice high forehand going around the trees, or the bushes, I should say, and almost skips it in. Wow.
Wow, right in front of the basket. Mike's a dynamic disc sponsor player, so most of his molds are DD or West Side. I think that was his Autie. Next up, Manny, going for a similar backhand line.
He makes power look so effortless. I know I've said it before on Top World, but never gets old watching him throw.
Yeah, looks like we'll have another edge of circle 1 putt coming up. This looks to be a little high and inside.
That still gets pin high, but yeah, left side. Circle's edge putt maybe, just outside. That's probably circle's edge.
Isaiah reaching for his DGA Avalanche.
Nice and wide, a bit lower than the other hyzers. Gets a big skip, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, in the circle.
Oh, yeah. Just low for Jacob. Manny for a 2 of 2 start. Oh, that's unmanny-like. Unfortunate little roll away, too. I think he's a little farther away now than he was on that first one.
Yeah, not as much power on that putt as usual.
Well, I guess he's not farther away than his first putt if Mike is up before, but either way, he oh, no. Mike. Isaiah hitting his head on that branch a little bit. Great birdie.
Okay, Isaiah gets a stroke back on Manny and Mike after their missed birdie attempts. Let's see if Manny can hit this kind of tester comeback putt for the par save.
No problem.
Yeah, that was the confident stroke we're used to seeing. And Mike's going to tap in his par.
Yeah, not really what the lead card is looking for on this hole, where the field averaged better than they did, with only one of them getting the birdie. They all threw good drives, though, really. It was just putting woes for the 3 of them that missed the birdie opportunity.
Yep, like they say, drive for show, putt for dough. On to hole 3. Low ceiling shot. Got to make it past this tree to give yourself a look at the basket. It's going to be a low shot either way, sidearm or backhand. I think the preferred line is probably the sidearm, just because it can get a little bit more skip towards the basket at the end of the flight. But Isaiah going for his pipeline, the backhand shot.
Yeah, with the narrow fairway and low ceiling and long distance, this is one of the hardest holes on the course. In round 1, we only had 1 birdie on the day. Let's see if the field can do better today. Mike getting a little lucky through that tree, but it was also a pretty good shot. Should put him maybe pin high right, 30, 40 feet or so.
Yeah, the fairway looks so much different than when we filmed out here for the Silicon Valley Classic just a few months ago with the high grass late in the fairway. There's going to be no skips today.
Manny hitting the guardian tree that looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale.
Yeah. Halo Star Destroyer from Jacob.
That's what you got to do on this hole. Keep it low the whole way. Huge flare skip at the end helped the distance, but might have put him out too far to the right. Looking at probably a 40 or 50 footer.
Usually Isaiah goes pretty quick when he knows he's going to lay up, but had to grab distance with the Bushnell rangefinder and kind of think about this one a little bit more.
Yeah, that branch makes it tricky. Well done. Should save the par.
Looks like he was going for that one.
Beautiful forehand bid there from Torres. But he stayed close for the par. That's what you want to do. Here's Jacob for birdie.
Wow.
I love it. He was walking it in right out of his hand. He knew it was good. Beautiful putt, Jacob. Great birdie.
Confident step putt. Mike Sale also for birdie.
Just a little low. Manny with a little bit of a par comebacker here.
So with that birdie putt, Jacob is now tied with Mike at -10. And Manny and Isaiah just one back at -9.
Yep, keeping it tight. And today there were 2 birdies on this hole. We just saw one of them from Jacob Johnson, the other from Michael Lane. So that's a total of 3 birdies on this hole for the event. It's a tough one.
Hole 4 has got the OB road on the left side, but most players will go up the gut or throw the sidearm hyzer over that road path on the left side. Pretty easy hole for these guys. Or if you got the overhand, the thumber like Jacob Johnson does, that'll work too.
Yeah, he's definitely got this shot in the bag. It's useful to have. Wow, perfect drive. He's going to be getting himself his second birdie of the round.
Yeah, setting a new pace. Jacob's going to be 11 under, so we'll see if Mike can keep it tied with him.
Love the forehand flex line from Isaiah. Looks like he played it perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's closer.
Interesting to see Mike's forehand grip with the split finger.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, whatever works. This looks good too. Just a little wide, so he'll be putting from just outside circle 1.
Yep, a little straddle putt around that little scraggly tree. Manny with a very similar line. A little bit short.
Yeah, hit that group of trees and kind of rolled backwards, giving him a longer putt.
Yep, couple of long putts coming up and a couple of tap-ins. Oh, just high for Manny.
Just 2 inches too high. Hits the nubs.
All right, here's Mike straddling out from behind the little tree. He's good for it. Good birdie, Mike.
There you go, keeping pace.
And he saves the par. Still, at this point in the round, I'm sure he was hoping to be more than 1 under par. There's really only one tough hole in the starting stretch, and that's hole 3 that we just saw. Jacob with the park job, and Isaiah as well. 3 birdies, 1 par.
Red shirt guy.
People from all over the Bay are joining up to Huck for the future.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
They're doing their part. Are you? Play. Volunteer. Join the Silicon Valley Disc Golf Club today. Membership guarantees fun.
Did you find anything yet?
We ain't found shit.
Special thanks to the Silicon Valley Disc Golf Club for their support.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And on to hole 5, the only par 4 of the event, 673 feet. Really, you just want to get a good drive off the tee to put yourself in position on the second shot. Most of the players are going to have to throw a backhand to get over the bushes on the left side that kind of obstruct the first shot. But as long as you get, up above 330 feet, 350 off the tee, then it should leave you a pretty stock backhand hyzer or forehand hyzer to the basket.
Jacob turned that over a little, but I think the approach angle is just fine from over there.
Yeah, normally that area plays as out of bounds, but it's not out of bounds for this event. Isaiah going big with the Z nuke.
Looks good. Should have a simple little approach from there.
That's my spirit animal.
Right in the middle of the fairway. A little low for Manny.
Yep. Oh, yep. You kind of see right out of his hand that was going to get caught up in those trees. See what he's left with. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, good kick. Still within his distance.
Yeah. It's not the lie I expected to see him have after seeing that drive from the T-cam perspective. And a beautiful upshot. He's still going to get his birdie.
Jacob Johnson going around the other side of this big tree. Seems like it's stalling out a little bit, but it's still putting. Edge of circle 1.
Mike with a nice forehand putter approach. Puts it nice and close.
And Isaiah's drive went the furthest, but it kind of put him in an awkward spot here. He's forced to go to the overhand.
Makes it work beautifully.
Yeah, he seems to have all the shots. Backhand, sidearm, overhand, solid putting.
4 birdie looks coming up. Everybody playing the hole well thus far. Oh, weird optical illusion. That looked like it was in. Good putt from Isaiah. Yep.
Yeah, catches on the left side. So this is Jacob's comeback putt for his par 4.
Nice. I think the last 2 are pretty close. Yep. At this point, Manny's actually a few strokes behind the rest of the card, so this will be a nice opportunity to get one of those back, at least on Jacob. I guess Mike is still parked for birdie as well.
Count it. Almost right. Yeah. That is in the back of my mind.
And a good birdie from Mike.
Hole 6, one of the shortest holes on this layout, 222 feet. No Mando, so you could take this flight that the drone is flying, but most players are going to opt for the hyzer again here. Sidearm is a little less obstructed, but you could take the right side as well, just have to put it a little higher.
Yeah, we saw Nick Pantages take that right side righty backhand hyzer in round 1. Great shot from Isaiah. Like hole 2, this is another hole that the players are expecting to birdie, I want to say, averaging more than half a stroke under par at 2.48.
I think it was at this point in the round where we heard a little bit of commotion from the card in front of us on hole 7 because Jacob Blair hits the ace from chase card.
Yeah, and before the ace, he's been putting together a solid round. This was a shotgun start, so he started on hole 2, birdied 2, bogeyed 3, then got a turkey on 4, 5, and 6, and then the ace on 7. So he's shooting hot, getting more birdies than anyone on lead card, so we might be checking in with him more as the coverage continues.
Here's Jacob throwing his zone OS.
A little bit long, but should be fine, I think. Oh, I lied. That's tricky.
Yeah, pretty obstructed with the olive tree in the way.
Ooh, good bid. Love those little flick putts. Oh, just low for Isaiah. Another birdie for Mike. He's now got 2 strokes on the rest of this card and the field as well at this point, I believe. Well, actually, I guess Jacob Blair with that ace would be 12 down for the event, so he is currently in second place from the chase card.
Since he's the previous year's champion, I'm sure he's confident and making the push for the win, so a lot can happen with all these birdie holes left to go. On to hole 7, the hole that Jacob Blair just aced. Triple Mando early off on the fairway. Very straight shot, only 292 feet. So whatever you can confidently hit that Mando with, keep it straight, it's going to be your disc of choice.
You know, this is actually a really impressive ace. I talked about this hole a little bit in round one, how at this distance you would expect that it would play easier like some of the other short holes we've seen that played half a stroke under par, but this one averaged 3.29, well over par, due to the low ceiling nature and the triple Mando, and it's not as straightforward as some other holes on the course. Manny turning it over a little too much, but at least he made the triple Mando.
Yeah, I think the triple Mando's in a perfect spot off the tee, just far enough to where it makes you think about it a lot more.
Yep, I agree. Oh, and speaking of which, maybe it was in Isaiah's head. Now, he actually did get caught up in that tall grass, so he has not missed the Mando. He's just going to be left with a tricky kind of stretch out forehand to get through it on his second. Jacob Johnson, a bit low. Might have some sort of a long, awkward look for birdie from there, but it won't be easy.
It's the flow.
Oh, good kick. Also, decent shot given how tricky the lie was from Isaiah. At least he's got a chance to save the par.
Good bid.
Jacob just wide on the birdie look. Oh, Mike. So close. Couldn't make it 4 in a row. And Manny with our last chance for a birdie here on lead card. Oh, just left side. Man, they are all over it. And Isaiah still with some work left to save the par here. Oh, no. Wow, what a turn of events. So Jacob Blair takes the ace on chase card, and then meanwhile our lead card is taking 3 pars and a bogey here from Isaiah.
Yeah, I think that's the first bogey of the weekend for Isaiah.
Wow, I forgot his first round was bogey free. That's impressive on any course, man. I know this course does have quite a few, birdie or die holes, but it has some real tricky ones sprinkled throughout as well. So it's always impressive to stay bogey free for that many holes. And actually, even though Jacob Blair aced, the birdie percentage was really low on this hole. There were only 2 birdies from Michael Lane and Scott Brown. Might as well shout them out.
Yeah, Michael Lane seems to be putting up some solid birdies this round. Hole 8, 316 feet. There's the walking path on the left side that has the painted OB line. Just like a lot of the holes out here, players might opt to throw that sidearm over the OB and crash into the basket. But as we saw in round 1, there's also that up the gut backhand line, or more of a flex up the middle. But Mike's turning towards the OB.
Oh, that's not coming back. Yeah, that's way OB. Unfortunate mistake there. And at this point, Jacob Blair has already played this hole and taken a par, so he is still at 12 under. Mike, without a huge par save putt, is going to move to 12 under as well. So Jacob Blair off chase card is solidly in contention for the lead at this point.
See if
Jacob Johnson with, another thumber.
So far, the closest to the pin is Manny. I think that was his champion Firebird. So if he can make that putt, he'll get to 12 down and be tied with Jacob Blair.
Yeah, we got a couple Jacobs in the mix here now. That's crazy with Mike going OB and Manny throwing a good drive and Jacob Blair shooting lights out on the chase card. We're looking at a potential 3-way tie for the lead after this hole.
Yeah, and he's going to have to spot it last place of inbounds. It's not the easiest up and down to save par. Well,
Take it out.
yeah, because that's the short basket right there.
Oh, right. I see the long one now farther off to the left side of the screen there.
And I'm gonna back up.
Or no, that must be a different hole because someone just putted on it.
Back here. That work?
My apologies for the confusion. I do wish I knew this course better. Yeah, that is the basket he's going for. So he's got a chance here to save the par.
Come on, Mike.
Yeah, dude.
Nope. That was a tricky one. All right, so with that bogey, he's going to move to 12 down. Yeah, Jacob Johnson didn't have much there. But Manny, oh, not yet. First, Isaiah.
Good bounce back after the bogey.
Yeah, he's still in the mix as well. 11 down, 11 down, 11 down. In a minute, going to be 12 down for Mike. Man, everyone's so tight at the top here. I love it. Manny for the birdie. And he's good for it.
It's in.
And a note to our viewers now at this point, since our lovely camera crew is aware of the scores going on out there on the course, we had to send the reaction cam to Chase Card to film Jacob Blair in case of a Chase Card win. So we're going to start seeing some check-ins with him from now on. And lead card coverage here is going to go from 3 camera coverage to 2 camera coverage, but we'll still be able to see all the shots, of course. Just have less close-up angles of their faces.
So I think this hole 9, 376 feet. Pretty difficult birdie to get because you got to throw over all these big trees that are early in the fairway. So it kind of takes a unique shot shape. It's kind of like a stall backhand. So now we're going to do the Chase Card check-in. Here's Jacob Blair's tee shot.
Man, look at that scorecard he's got going on. 4 birdies and an ace so far. But unfortunately, that fades out left and goes out of bounds.
Wow. That out of bounds isn't really something you think about too much on the tee shot, but it can happen.
Just like that, we send a camera to cover him, and he takes his first bogey of the round. So he is back to 11 under now.
Manny up first. I think this is his star Thunderbird. Pretty solid. Edge of circle 1 putt coming up.
Great shot.
Hypercane from Isaiah also looks like it's fading left, kind of like Jacob Blair's shot.
Yep, that is OB. Jacob Johnson with a slightly lower hyzer, but still pretty high. Oh, perfect. Great
Beautiful.
shot.
Looks like maybe he made an adjustment after watching Isaiah's go be on the left side. That was an excellent shot.
Mike also slightly lower than the rest of the players. However, that is overturned, doesn't fade out, and you can see that spotter up there, or volunteer, whoever he is, looking in the general direction where Mike went, and it is terrible.
Oh, no. Probably one of the worst places you could find yourself on the course. That's all poison oak mixed with an oak tree, some olive trees. He's got nothing but a forehand roller.
He gets out and gives himself a long look to save the par. All things considered, I think that was pretty good.
Yeah. Makes sense. You're like stalling out.
Gonna have to use some Technu wipes after that one. Probably
Yep.
got some poison oak oils on them. But I guess if he can save the par, all things are worth it, right?
I suppose that depends on how allergic he is to poison oak.
True.
Isaiah just low on the par save attempt after his OB drive.
Wow.
And he does it. Let's go, Mike. What a par save. After being in absolute jail off the tee. Forehand roller to get out of trouble. Huge putt to save the par. Well played.
That's huge.
Love it. Yep. Ooh, Manny, high right, but it's good. And he gets the birdie.
Yeah, even with the great par save from Mike, he still loses a stroke to Manny Torres. So now Manny gets to 13 under par. Mike's still at -12. Jacob also secures the birdie to get to -12, and Isaiah at 11.
And once again, Jacob Blair off chase card, also at -11 after his bogey on this hole. Oh, actually, Isaiah's at -10 now because he just took a bogey here. But still, everybody in contention. 12 holes to go.
12 holes to go. That'll wrap up our part 1 of the final round. Here's our scores after 9 holes. Manny so far putting up the hot round at -5, but like you said, everybody's in the mix. Anybody can win. We really got to see what happens in these next 12 holes before we crown the champion.
Yeah, man, look at this top 10 after 9 holes in our final round. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players within 3 strokes of each other.
Also interesting to note is Michael Lane that you mentioned a couple times on some great birdies. He's already -6th on the round, and same with Devin. Yesterday he shot par, and he's also 6th down through these 9 holes. So there's some players shooting hot on this second day out here.
Exciting stuff. Come back and join us for the final 12 holes of the 2025 Mesmerize.